born Michigan did it. These are the games they are playing. As of right now, however, if you are going to allow males into women's sports, you are not giving females a comparable opportunity, and thus they are being denied.
In this video, Tim Pool discusses Donald Trump's recent freezing of federal funds to Maine because their governor is unwilling to admit that there are only two genders. Tim Pool rips into Whoopi Goldberg for some statements she recently made on the matter when interviewing Dylan Mulvaney. With that, let's watch Tim Pool point out all the ways, and there are a lot of them, that Whoopi Goldberg is incorrect.
Donald Trump has delivered a FAFO to the governor of Maine. For those who didn't see the video, the governor basically told Trump, bring it on, when Trump said, if you do not abide by our executive order on men and women's sports, we will cut your funding. Well, the governor of Maine said, I'll see you in court. And he says, sure thing, lady. Well, FAFO, as it were. Trump admin slashes funding for Maine universities in standoff over protecting women's sports. The pause is in response to Maine's refusal to comply with President Donald Trump's executive order that keeps biological men out of women's sports. Let's just call it men out of women's sports. The Post-Millennial reports on Tuesday, the U.S. Department of Agriculture paused funding to the University of Maine system, a network of 8 public colleges in the state. According to UMS officials, the pause is in response to Maine's refusal to comply with President Donald Trump's executive order that keeps biological men out of women's sports. Fox News reported that the USDA is reviewing potential Title IX and Title VI violations by the university for failing to comply with the order. A UMS spokesperson told the outlet an email forwarded to the University of Maine that appears to have originated from the USDA's Office of the Chief Financial Officer directs the department's awarding agencies and staff offices to temporarily no longer issue any payments or authorize any other releases of funding to Columbia University or the University of Maine system. The message continued. The pause is temporary in nature while the USDA evaluates if it should take any follow-on actions related to prospective Title VI or IX violations. Please take any necessary actions to effectuate this direction from leadership. This pause will remain in effect until further notice. I'm here for it, ladies and gentlemen. You want to F around, Donald Trump says, let's play ball. He has been delivering on his promises like no other president. Some say more than any other president. And everyone agrees. At least that's what I've been told. During a meeting of GOP governors at the White House in February, Trump and Maine's Democratic governor sparred over the president's pledge to cut funding to Maine, specifically if the state continued to allow males to compete in girls' sports. Mills retorted, we'll see you in court. Trump said he looked forward to it. Mills' office threatened legal action against the Trump admin if it withheld federal funding from the state. Hours after the public argument, the Education Department announced it would investigate Maine for allowing males to compete in girls' sports for potential Title IX violations. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has already determined Maine has violated Title IX by allowing males to compete against girls and made a referral to the DOJ. So there was this case in Southern California.
Tim makes a good point. Why do we still say biological men in women's sports? I got to remind myself from now on just to say men, because that's what we're talking about. I wonder, who is this governor appealing to with her defiant stance on letting men brutalize women in sports? I mean, I guess maybe she thinks the liberal population of her state will applaud her for this. I don't know if they care that much to have all these federal funds withdrawn from their state. Of course, the other possibility is she's just a activist governor that doesn't care about what the people need or what the people want. She cares about her own agenda. And now she wants to go to war in court with Donald Trump. Well, that's a good use of Maine's taxpayer money. I'm sure the citizens really appreciate that. If this goes the way I think it's going to go, Maine will not be receiving federal funds. Then they'll go to court over it. They'll spend a bunch of money on attorneys and litigating this. And in the end, Trump's administration will win, and they'll either continue not getting money or they'll just comply with the easiest thing in the world. Don't let men beat the shit out of women in sports. What's wrong with this lady? Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Where some guy, they had a women's computer program, and some guy was like, that violates the law because it's sexist. Not allowing me to join that because I'm a man violates my rights. The courts determined, so long as they offer up the same program to either men or women, there's no violation. So what ended up happening was they said, we've got a program for men. Computers for men. Computers for women. Problem solved. And the courts agreed. Why? Well, take a look at bathrooms. No one's being denied a bathroom. You're being given a bathroom Some are for men, some are for women. The left tries to argue that it's sex discrimination to say that a male can't go into a public bathroom, for instance. The only issue, it doesn't work because the state still provides a comparable or basically the same thing, just because they say one person can't go here or the other. The challenge that then comes up from the gender ideologues is race. And they said, if that's the case, why would race be any different? Why couldn't you have a white bathroom and a black bathroom? Hence, Democrats have actually pushed for segregation under these arguments. And we've seen universities have their POC and non-POC libraries in Seattle. Dearborn, Michigan did it. These are the games they are playing. As of right now, however, if you are going to allow males into women's sports, you are not giving females a comparable opportunity, and thus they are being denied. So now you got yourself an argument that they could be in violation of the law by not having a women's only. They can argue, hey, the lacrosse teams are all guys. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to say, any woman can try out for the lacrosse team, and if they don't get on the team, that's their fault for not being as good as the guys. The problem then is, this is funny because it's liberal against liberal worldview. The feminists go, it's not fair that there's no place for women to play because sports are men always win, and you're only ever choosing men. If we had DEI in sports, then sports would have to be half men, half women, right? So then they say, okay, we'll create women's sports. Well, now the trans activists are saying, no, this male is a woman, so they can be there. And the women can say, then where do women go? But trans women are women, and welcome to the insanity of modern civil rights law. Good luck finding an answer. How about this? We know what men and women are. Let's give women their own sporting categories. In the meantime, Whoopi Goldberg is shocked and confused. Whoopi Goldberg tells Dylan Mulvaney, View co-hosts, she does not know why men playing in women's sports is an issue. Okay.
If you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
Whoopi, how about we box? I will tie both of my hands behind my back. I'm kidding. I don't want to box Whoopi Goldberg. She was great as Guinan on Star Trek The Next Generation, but she's just lying now. So how about I offer up, how old is Dylan Mulvaney? Dylan Mulvaney. Let's do this. Dylan Mulvaney's 28. Mulvaney's got a good 11 years on me. Just shy of 11 years, born in 96. Okay. How about Dylan and I compete in a decathlon? And I know Dylan Mulvaney's not a woman. I'm making that point. And we'll see how things go. Now, that's just two people, and we're both male. But let's do this. At the same time, I volunteer. I mentioned this the other day on Timcast IRL. Here's what we're going to do. We will take a 39-year-old female who is 5'10", 11-ish, I don't know, somewhere in there. I'm a little bit taller than 5'10", but, call it 5'10". And we will, same weight, same age. I'm 180 pounds. That's right. And, to make it fair, they're going to have to be a quarter Korean. And then we will do a decathlon ending in a boxing match. Whoopi, I'd like you to referee. And this person, and you know what? They've got to be born on the exact same day as me. I'm sure we could find a quarter Korean woman who's of the same height. Actually, that's probably very difficult, but they have to exist, right? There's 8 billion people.
I've said it before. It's funny when you go to the extremes of the right and the left. When you go really extreme, their ideas and worldview start to look similar. The left is essentially pushing for segregation with like black and white bathrooms. And what does the far right want? Separation of the races, right? It's just bananas. Anytime the left loses an argument on a trans issue or a sexuality issue, they always conflate it with race. I am much more similar to males of every race on the planet than I am to a woman. They're not even in the same stratosphere as far as the difference. I'm not trying to get on my soapbox here, but no matter what color your skin is, we're all the same, man. Male, female. But men and women are very different. I'm not going to list all the reasons. You've all had them read off to you 8 trillion times, but people that want to die on this hill, their brains are really broken. I mean, I honestly, I guess it was wishful thinking, but I hoped that we'd be done with this issue right now and it would just be small pockets of extremists looking like idiots. And I think the group of people that actually believe this garbage they're saying is getting smaller, but I guess it's just not getting smaller quick enough for me. But I have to say, I would pay to see Tim versus a woman in a decathlon or any sport. And I would love to have Whoopi Goldberg referee it. Anyway, let's wrap up the video.
Somewhere out there is a quarter Korean, largely British, German, French, European mix, 5'10" woman. And the point is this. I don't even need to make that point. Any sane human being is like, oh, Tim, you're going to crush her. Duh. And I'm saying, like, we don't train for any of it. Or actually, maybe we let the woman train. There's this video I watch, and they always fake it. They always fake this stuff. There's a video where it was like, untrained man thinks he can beat trained woman, and it was like a javelin throw. And the woman holds the javelin, runs, and throws it well. And then the guy is like, I'm untrained, let me try. And he throws it like a baseball, and it spins around and flops. And they're like, haha, women are better. And it's like, dude, I'm going to tell you this right now. That guy was, like, they always fake it. If a guy actually, untrained, was watched a woman throw a javelin, you give him a few minutes, he's going to be competitive. Sorry, it's true. I understand that training matters a lot. And I say competitive. Didn't say he was going to win.
I don't really know what else to say about this stupid issue. Whoopi Goldberg's an idiot. Dylan Mulvaney is a psycho. There are two genders, men and women. I really pray we're back on the track to at least some semblance of reality. But we want to hear from you. What do you all think about this ridiculous men and women's sports? Do you agree that Donald Trump should hold funding until Maine complies? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, as always, really appreciate you watching, and we will see you in the next one.